Hey, what up? Welcome back. Did you miss me? Um, yeah, so this video is going to be about what the fuck happened this week to me, or last week, about a deep physical, mental, emotional, physical breakdown that I went through, some of the reasons why I went through it, I feel like, and I really feel like this is something that is really good to share because it shares what happens in the healing process sometimes. For those who don't know, my name is Sharam Namdarian, and that's it for now. Who I am, that's it for now. Let's just leave it at that for now for this video. I talk a lot about emotional surrender, a lot about who we are as a person, and a lot about basically understanding the way our emotions affect our life as a whole and how we can learn to sort of heal our deep emotions in order to become the person who we are. Now, if you've been following me, which you have been and should have been, you would have known that before I went on a break this week, I did some videos called the Unblock Your Money Blocks, or Unblock the Flow of Money, or something like that. I did 3 parts. Basically, it was this idea that I was going to dive deep into my feelings around money so I could open up these ideas and feelings around basically my limiting beliefs of what was going on and surrender to them so I could truly heal them at a deep level. And if you watch those videos, it was fucking painful. Fucking painful. Like, I was reliving past trauma like hell on fire, like hell on earth. I was going through re-experiencing basically deep fears, pains, issues around money, and by the end of the week, I thought I was done. The weekend, I thought I was done. I truly thought I was done, and I was like, look, I did this thing, but I set myself up on a good path, and let's roll on with the world. I was fucking wrong. A few days after the weekend, I had a very deep physical, mental, and emotional breakdown. To the point that I called the doctor. Doctor said get a blood test. Haven't had the blood test done yet. Could it be something else? Fuck, I don't know. Could it be physical things? I don't know. I'm lucky. I'm truly lucky that I have someone like my sister in my life. My sister's a pharmacist, so she's very clued on like, look, here's your lifestyle. Here's some vitamins you should be taking. But she's also quite spiritual like me in a sense. So she understands the journey I went through. I explained to her what I was going to do on the weekend to myself. And, just like all sort of people who understand the effects of emotions, you sort of get it. Like, you sort of get that it could be physical, it could be emotional, but it doesn't quite matter, like, where it came from. It's like one triggers the other. But it was to the point that I finally, so I have a night job. I work 3 nights a week, basically, to sustain myself while I figure out the next stage of my life. And what happened was I had to call in sick. Now, if you're like me, that's fucking hard, because you don't want to admit to yourself that you're sick. You don't want to admit that you're weak. But I finally surrendered. I finally called in sick. They didn't care. They didn't care. And I had that time to deeply, deeply, deeply recover. Now, that time was still painful. Oh, God, was it painful. I did nothing but sleep. It was dizzy for me to stand. It's funny that I share this, because it's like I talk my clients through this all the time, or people I've worked through, like they'll deal with something. They'll have a deeply horrible time as a result of it, but then as a result of that, life's better. Life works. There is no issue anymore. There is no issue of what we were originally dealing with, because they dealt with the deep fucking trauma underneath. And that's it, right? That's what causes us the major issues. It's not the external. It's like the external and internal world reflective. Usually, we can't control the external world sometimes, but we can control our reactions. And those reactions ultimately then, like little drips on water on a rock, can affect the outside world. So that's what happens. And it's really interesting to see the relationship between the physical, the emotional, all that sort of stuff. And I talk a lot about this on this channel. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but by the end of it, I went to work last night, and I felt like part of me is like, I'm ready to move on. Like, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to move on. So right now, I'm basically like hustling, like trying to create new online courses that I'm really proud of that I can sell. Right now, I'm doing a competition on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, like do. I'm trying to decide what the first course is to do. So there's the 4 courses that I was thinking. Energize your life. I'm going to try to remember off the top of my head. There's Energize Your Life, which is all about unblocking like emotional fatigue, getting over that. There's Unapologetically Confident, which is something I learned recently, so I want to make a course about that. There's more. So just check it out in my bio if that's something. It's awesome at Awesome Sharam. If you don't know how to spell that, learn it. But yeah, so this week was fucking tough. Through the week though, I watched and observed my psyche basically reconstruct itself. And sometimes this is not going to make sense to most people. But if this does make sense to you, you are a lucky and special cookie. Because sometimes I say things that don't make sense to some people, but then like 6 months later, they'll be like, oh, Jesus Christ, Sharam was right. And then they tell me, and I'm like, oh, you don't say, eh? You don't say. But I watched my psyche basically reconstruct itself and go and shift and sort through every deep emotional issue I had with money. So it's like I started to reprioritize how I do things. You know, like, so I'm always about helping people. But helping someone to the detriment of your own self is never helping them. And that's what I was doing. So through the last week, I basically learned to reprioritize my life, putting myself a little bit more first than I have been putting, which is sort of nice. Honestly, really fucking nice. I learned to put myself a little bit forward. I learned to realize that I need to make money and I want to make money and that I can have fun doing it. And that, truth be told, with my current night job, I am to love it. I am to love it because there's always something to surrender there. And I am to love wanting to work for myself. There's a lot in there. There's a lot of realizations I've had. And the other thing is so this channel might move more towards a bit of a vlog style, so stuff that will help you, but is also me sharing what I'm currently going through. Because I feel like any really deep, helpful, transformational stuff, like in greater detail, I should put in a course, so it's a bit more of a sacred space. So like you're going into this, you know what you're getting out of it and stuff like that. So I think that would be really cool. But yeah, so thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I know there are a few people that are like really thankful that I'm back. Like, you know, I'm gone. Will I post every day? Look, probably not. I don't know. Once you've surrendered to a desire, it's like the cat's out of the bag. You can't unplug it. So, will I produce a video every day? Still, I don't know. Will I stop myself from producing a video every day? Fucking no. Like, if I need to, I will. Will I stop posting to Instagram like 50 fucking times a day to the point that Instagram thinks I'm hacked? No. The thing that really touched me, and if you're still watching to this point, I'm thankful that you are. The thing that really touched me was when I started posting again after a week off. People's responses are like, "You're a fucking great person. We're thankful that you're back." I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like, I talk a lot about emotional availability and surrender as this point of like, you become more emotionally available to receive love and to understand it and stuff. And it's like, I'm so deeply loved and I don't know it. Like, I'm unaware of it. So it's really nice to know that. And also through this week, I've discovered much more deeper sense of confidence in myself. If you can't tell from my voice, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, Be amazing. Just remember, every day, you're amazing. You're fucking wonderful. You're brilliant. Look, I believe most people are, or pretty much everyone is. But knowing that you can say that to yourself, and without a doubt be confident in you saying it to yourself, is such a great gift to yourself. So I say you're amazing, right? But can you? And if there was one thing you got out of the video, that's a good thing. I know sometimes the things I say can be scary, especially some of the quotes. Truth be told, sometimes it's scary because it's energy being released. It's energy being released. We've held on to something for so long. We didn't want to admit something to ourselves. And when we hear the truth, it releases a lot of energy. So we as a person are opening up. So thank you so much. Thank you for being amazing. Thank you for being wonderful. Thank you for being on this journey. Make sure to jump on my Instagram at awesome Sharam. That's a little at symbol. Awesome, spelled awesome, and Sharam, spelled Sharam. Link the things in my. If you're on YouTube, it should be in my bio anyway. Oh, the description of this video. And vote. Help me vote. You be you. Help me be me. I'm asking for stuff in return now. Isn't that nice?